many strides, one dream, many heartbeats, one pulse. Sagicor, celebrating Jamaican success. The time by Sagicor is
7 o'clock.
Coming up in the news at 7, National Hurricane Center watching 3 tropical developments. 3 killed and several injured in Kingston gun attack. Businessman urges more private sector involvement needed in education. And in sports, Alana Reid wins second gold at Under-20 Championships after anchoring Jamaica's winning 4x100 team. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7, the weekend edition. It's Saturday, August 31. Welcome. I'm TK Dawkins. The National Hurricane Center, NHC, in a statement today says it has been watching 2 areas in the Atlantic for possible tropical development. There's one approaching the Caribbean next week, which could possibly become Hurricane Francine. The NHC says a tropical wave located several hundred miles east of the Lesser Antilles continues to produce some disorganized showers and thunderstorms. The disturbance is forecast to move westward and reach the Lesser Antilles on Monday, then continue across the eastern and central Caribbean Sea through the middle part of next week. Later next week, environmental conditions appear to become more conducive for development, and a tropical depression could form as the system moves across the western Caribbean Sea. Tragedy struck at another community gathering, this time in Kingston on Friday night. Gunmen opened fire on a group of people, killing 3 and leaving several others injured. More from Nika Lewis in this crime roundup.
The crime wave continues to crash into sections of the country with continued murders and shootings daily. On Friday, 2 men and a woman passed away after a group of people were shot and injured at a third night event for a man on Mandela Terrace in Kingston. The latest victims have been identified as Derek Goodgame Jr., otherwise called Ricky, a 32-year-old laborer of Chatsworth Avenue, and a 23-year-old customer service representative, Kimberly Plummer, of Mandela Terrace, both of Kingston 11. The third victim remains unidentified. The male is, however, of dark complexion and bears a tattoo on the left arm and chest. He was sporting a plaited hairstyle and clad in black t-shirt and a light blue jeans shorts at the time. Police say at around 10:10 Friday night, the victims were at the third night event for Joel Saunders, otherwise called Hellman, who hails from the area, when an undetermined number of vehicles drove along Mandela Terrace. It's alleged the occupants of the vehicles alighted armed with firearms and opened gunfire wildly along the roadway. After the shooting subsided, the men escaped in said vehicles. It was later discovered that several persons sustained gunshot injuries. The police were alerted and the 7 injured persons were assisted to hospital by the police and civilians, where Goodgame, Plummer and the unidentified man were pronounced dead on arrival. Some 27 spent casings and several live rounds were reportedly left at the scene. It's among the latest mass shootings in as many days, following the historic Cherry Tree Lane massacre in Clarendon earlier this month. However, this week also yielded some returns for crime fighting. While the St. Elizabeth police seized a massive 836 rounds of assorted ammunition, police in Hanover nabbed a 23-year-old Hopewell man who pulled an illegal gun on a colleague during a dispute dating back to July 2. Timoy Nemard was charged with assault at common law and possession of a prohibited weapon on Thursday, August 29. He's to face the court soon. And police in Savlamar, Westmoreland, seized another 27 rounds of ammunition during an operation on Cook Street in the parish Friday. Police reports are that at about 5 a.m., lawmen were in the area when a premises was searched. During the search, the ammunition was found at the back of the premises in a container, along with 18 lead sheets associated with lottery scamming. They were discovered in an abandoned area near the premises. No one was arrested in relation to the seizure. but an investigation is ongoing. Nika Lewis, CVM News.
As the latest batch of police constables crossed the graduation stage this week, they stopped to celebrate Deputy Police Commissioner Fitz Bailey, who is set to leave office soon. They were joined by Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang, who also sang Bailey's praises. Courtney Lewis tells us more.
The Deputy Commissioner of Police, Fitz Bailey, is set to demit office in September, and many have started to offer their tributes, including National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang.
Let me also add my word of commendation and recognition for the work of Deputy Commissioner Fitz Bailey, a fine example of an outstanding public servant who has served this country with distinction and integrity over the years. He has certainly added new dimension to the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Mr. Bailey's name will stand for a long time in the annals of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. His work in investigating gangs is, of course, pioneering, and will lay the foundation for continued work to dismantle these characters that create havoc across many societies and many parts of our country.
He was joined by the graduating batch 154 of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, who distinguished Bailey as a cornerstone of the police force.
With over 4 decades of unwavering dedication and commitment to serving the people in Jamaica, Mr. Bailey has played a pivotal role in enhancing the investigative capabilities of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Over the past decade, he has provided strategic leadership in various investigative endeavors, significantly shaping the direction and effectiveness of the force's operations.
Meanwhile, Chang further highlighted the improvements of the JCF, noting the challenges of the past.
As a government, we have steadily and strategically invested in the Jamaica Constabulary Force over the last 6 years. Our vision is to ensure that our generation of police officers your generation of police officers will not encounter the underfunded police of the past, lack of real-time communication, primitive record keeping, and unreliable police vehicles are no longer the primary complaints among today's police officers.
The government is also recommitting to improve technology in policing, emphasizing the responsibilities of the new police graduates.
We are providing digital solutions and advanced technologies to build and operate a 21st century police force. Remember that you're not just joining a force. You are becoming part of a legacy, a tradition, a legacy of service, sacrifice, and commitment to the people of Jamaica.
The ceremony was held at the National Police College on Wednesday, August 28. Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
Key stakeholders and educators are calling for more Jamaicans, especially within the private sector, to partner with the government. This renewed push comes as the Education Ministry moves to transform the sector in the digital space. We go again to Courtney Lewis.
The challenges of the education system cannot be tackled alone. That's why one stakeholder is encouraging greater private sector involvement in education.
Governments, educational institutions, businesses, and communities must unite in a concerted effort to support and uplift education. Collaboration and rigorous accountability ensure the resources, expertise, and opportunities necessary for our students to thrive in an ever-evolving world.
Only recently, similar sentiments were echoed by Education Minister Favour Williams, who asserts partnerships with the private sector are beneficial for parents and students.
Parental contribution to education is quite significant, and so any help that parents and their children can get from corporate Jamaica is welcome. By combining our efforts and resources, we create solutions that neither of us could achieve alone.
Carr Jarrett was the keynote speaker at the 60th anniversary of the Church's Teachers College, where he further urged educators to prioritize early childhood education.
Where every class is an English class, so that a solid foundation can be laid for our children, giving them the skills and the capacity to accelerate and acquire knowledge, especially in this digital information age.
He adds development for teachers is paramount to greater nation building. Meanwhile, Mandeville's Mayor Donovan Mitchell assures more will be done to expand the housing capacity of the school.
In Manchester, we have a maximum of 30 habitable rooms per acre. What we have done now is to extend it in some areas to 30 to 50 habitable rooms, and if you are so obliged, you may get 80 habitable rooms. So an area like Church Jesus College would fit well into making sure you have a lovely 5-story building so that you can accommodate more students.
He also highlighted infrastructural developments which will reduce traffic congestion in the surrounding town.
We are also extending on the roads into Mandeville, Greenvale Road, New Green Road, Manchester Road, areas that are not commercial belts, to make them commercial belts so that as you build Mandeville, you have more space for commercial activities.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
Breast cancer patients and survivors are bemoaning the high costs of health care. Some say the care they need is simply unavailable. But one stakeholder is clinging to hope that early detection may help alleviate the economic strain while saving lives. Courtney Lewis has the story.
Breast cancer is one of the most common cancers and a leading cause of death in Jamaican women. But as Jamaicans grapple with that fact, even more alarming are the major healthcare challenges patients and survivors face. Nurse Humphreys, a breast cancer survivor, shares their woes.
People are here in Montego Bay, and because there are shortage of machines to do tests, they wait 9 months and a year because the private sector is charging $90,000. No, they're not working. Where are they to get $90,000 from?
She laments that many cancer fighters experience mental and economic challenges as one dose of medication can cost almost $600,000 with little familial support.
The medications that are needed for our patients, a lot of it is not in the pharmacy. They can't get the medication they need. And simply wants to. People are being fired from their jobs because they are cancer survivors. You have taken 2 days to go to chemo, and you come again this month asking for 2 days. So they get a letter and that's it.
But Everton Anderson, head of the National Health Fund, says costs can be reduced through early detection as late-stage treatments are more expensive.
The steeper increase in cumulative costs were seen among those diagnosed in stage 4 and above. The simple message then is that early detection enables more efficient treatment and reduces healthcare costs.
He adds Jamaicans have a fear of screening and says locals should work to address their fears.
If we can set a goal that every Jamaican should spend at least 2 hours doing their full screening every year, I guarantee you that we'll have better health outcomes, we'll catch diseases earlier, and we'll be able to treat persons earlier.
He was speaking at the launch of a 5K run walk of the Kiwanis Club of Providence in Montego Bay, St. James, Thursday. Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
More CVM News at 7, the weekend edition, in a moment.
Yeah man, make some noise because Burger King Double Deal Pick 2 is back. For $16.50 you get 2 whole Burger King combo. It's a win-win. Pick 2 combos: Whopper Junior Cheese with Bacon, American Chicken Sandwich, or Big Fish Sandwich combo for only $16.50. Spend 1 money, win 2 times. Food for me, I'm a party, or just for me, cause me hungry right now. Myself and I go hungry later. You see it? 1 money, 2 food. Makes it 1 money, 2 food. Win-win. Burger King Double Deal Pick 2. Me, I go show them my way of justice.
I'm abused.
I need legal advice. I don't deserve this.
The truth of the matter is, justice there for all of it. The Ministry of Justice has trained more than 5,600 persons in restorative justice practices. More than 200,000 victims have been supported by the victim services. Legal aid has reached thousands island-wide. Make we talk it out, not fight it out. Call 888 Justice today.
Get qualified in Stage 1 practical nursing in only 6 months with City and Guild certificates at IIRQ Academy, located at 32 Hope Road, Kingston 10. Start online and face-to-face classes very soon and get qualified for local and overseas employment at affordable rates. Also available 7 to 9 months international certificate and diplomas in Level 3 certificate in early childhood education, Level 5 diploma in business management, pharmacy technician, medical assistant, medical lab technician, diploma in practical nursing and travel tourism, hospitality and entertainment. Register this month and get 2 subjects with your course for free. Call us at 876-322-4029 or 630-1084.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Community Wi-Fi may appear free to those who are likely to benefit, but one member of parliament and government minister is issuing a charge to his constituents as they receive a Wi-Fi park courtesy of the Universal Service Fund. The West Kingston MP is urging especially the young and impressionable to use the internet for good and not evil. Nika Lewis reports.
Been charting the course to reducing the digital divide in Jamaica. After bringing to communities free Wi-Fi parks for daily access to better themselves, it's however become apparent to one politician that some Jamaicans continue to use the internet for more harm than good. He's issued a warning to the people of Hannahtown, who are set to receive the service now, to use the internet to better their lives.
And what we are doing here today is to provide internet service to develop the minds. And I want to urge the parents and the council alluded to it. Let us guard our children to use the facilities and use it for the right reason. Not for the wrong reason. Not to look at new advanced weapons. That is not what we get it for. Not to look at the latest style in terms of whether you vape or you don't vape.
He reminds that many of the exam successes they now celebrate was in part attributed to the use of the internet to study and prepare. The local government minister and member of parliament reasons that unless parents become more vigilant, the efforts of those helping to eradicate their plight will be in vain.
If we don't encourage our children to use the facility for the right reasons, then the work of Mr. Phipps and Major Speed will never decrease. The values of today's world is something that we should not ignore. I am not a lover of social media because I think it's one of the worst things that the world could have ever experienced, social media. While it has values, it also has serious repercussions.
Meantime, Mackenzie extended condolences to the family and loved ones of Private E.J. Domville, who was reportedly killed by thugs during a patrol in the Denham Town area recently.
Our condolences to the family and the colleague of the fallen GNF soldier. It does not represent the fiber of West Kingston. And as a community, we guard the work of the security forces. And we will lend support to every effort that is being made to bring to justice those who are responsible for his death.
Nika Lewis, CVM News.
Minister of Works Prime Minister Andrew Holness today announced the launch of the Reach Road Rehab Program, a comprehensive national road rehabilitation initiative valued at $3 billion. designed to address critical road infrastructure island-wide with specific focus on recent weather events, including Hurricane Beryl, in addition to routine road maintenance. Under the program, each constituency will see funds allocated for essential road repairs, among other maintenance, to ensure equitable benefits. The program will be launched in 2 phases, with phase 1 being in September and ending in November 2024, and phase 2 from January to March 2025. Let's take a look now at regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. In St. Lucia, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force's mid-year report reveals rising homicides, evolving drug crime patterns, and improved detection rates in certain areas. Here's HTS News Force.
With half of the year gone, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force has unveiled a detailed report shedding light on key crime trends and the island's evolving security challenges.
Homicide comparison. Over the past 5 years, both homicides and murders have shown a consistent increase, with 2024 recording the highest numbers. As of August 27th, 2024, that's yesterday's date, there have been 54 homicides, of which 51 were classified as murders and 3 police shootings. For the same period last year, 2023, there were 59 homicides, of which 56 were classified as murders, 2 police shootings, and 1 unclassified at the time.
About 400 Kenyan officers who landed in the Caribbean nation of Haiti for a multinational mission aimed at supporting the Haitian police in its fights against gangs have been at odds with the UN for their deployment pay. Details from Africa News.
2 months after Kenyan police officers landed in Haiti, they are yet to receive their deployment allowances. The leading Kenyan newspaper reported that families of the officers were unable to take their children to school due to lack of pay by the United Nations, which approved the deployment to Haiti. About 400 Kenyan police officers landed in the Caribbean nation to lead a multinational mission aimed to support the Haitian police in its fight against gangs. The UN supports but does not manage the MSS mission. It established a trust fund which is facilitated voluntarily from donor countries. Main contributors are Canada, France, and the United States of America. The US ambassador to Kenya deplored Tuesday the pay delay and said the officers will be remunerated by Friday. Her remarks came 1 day after the Kenyan National Police Service said it was working to ensure continued support to its deployed officers. It added the officers did draw their Kenyan salaries. Last September, the US pledged $100 million to the mission.
In international news, a series of humanitarian pauses to fighting in Gaza are due to begin on Sunday to allow hundreds of thousands of children to be vaccinated against polio. The agreement comes after UN officials said a 10-month-old has been partially paralyzed after contracting Gaza's first recorded case of polio in 25 years. More from the BBC.
Born a month before the Gaza war began, Abdul Rahman has played a role in pausing it, something world leaders have struggled to do. Earlier this month, Abdul Rahman was diagnosed with polio, the first case in Gaza for 25 years. The family, 9 children in all, live in a camp in central Gaza, displaced multiple times from their home in the north. The constant moving disrupted his vaccinations. His mother says others in the camp are afraid and stop their children playing with him.
The virus stopped his progress. He stopped sitting, stopped walking, stopped crawling, and stopped moving. I want him to be treated. He wants to live and walk like other children.
Abdur Rahman's diagnosis has raised fresh alarm over conditions in Gaza's camps. The phased pause in fighting will allow medics to vaccinate more than 500,000 children in stages across the territory. But the conditions that caused this crisis are worsening, say aid organizations, and their solutions are not straightforward.
Due to the insecurity, the damage, the road infrastructure and population displacement, but also based on our experience with this kind of campaigns globally and worldwide, the 3 days might not be enough to achieve adequate vaccination.
That's it for regional and international news. I'm Nika Lewis.
And we go now to Inspire Jamaica with Carlin Brown.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place.
Last on Inspire Jamaica, from singing at the Children's Hospital, God Will Take Care of You, even though he struggled to speak, Ricardo Wilson was enrolled at the Learning Center in Kingston.
Within the first term I saw I couldn't believe it. The difference in his report, 180s. I was at school. I can recommend that school to anybody.
Ricardo made a big leap from a docile posture.
God will take care of you.
I'm happy for him. No. Because he never talked until he was 9. And we have to go through all of that until he was 9 years of age. And today, I can give God thanks. Because he has passed his PEP. And he's moving on to a high school now. The man that couldn't talk, that becomes now a parrot. Asks all kind of questions. Yes. So somebody said that he stored up that for 9 years. So now he's releasing it, and he have more to release. The next two said, I love him more. But it's not love him more, it's what he have gone through. Why I'm close to him, because he have gone through a lot. Yes.
What you want to say to other children, because children watch this program, who they understand, they probably just don't know how to express themselves because they don't talk.
Well, I want to say to parents, you may find a problem with your child. Sit with your child. Talk to your child. Even if the child is not talking, seek help. Seek help. It's not dumb. Once a child is hearing, it's not dumb. And when it comes to your children's education, seek that help. Seek that help. Because they are the future of tomorrow. And that is the reason why me and my wife, we go to the end for this little one. And today, he's talking. I'm proud of him.
Then came graduation. That is when he was what age? Tell me about that.
He was 14 years old. He went there when he was 7 years old. And when he graduated, he was 14.
Growing up, he usually chose his friend. And there was only one person at church. From him small, both of them go together. I don't know if that little one understand him. But today they are still friends. They are still friends, and they are the closest friend at church. That John Mark Pierce. He gave his mother something on her birthday at his graduation on the 28th of June.
An on-the-spot moment worth talking more about on Inspire Jamaica.
I'm so grateful. I'm so overjoyed. Yeah, this is the best moment ever. Yes.
As for Ricardo now, he speaks of forgiveness as he looks to the future.
Well, people used to teach me about my talk. Some people call my names.
I tell him the sky is the limit. And I tell my children that don't practice to get things right. Practice till you can't get it wrong. Because when you can't get it wrong, that means you get it right. So.
I'm Carlin Brown. Let's continue to Inspire Jamaica.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place.
It's time for another break, but stay with us. Sports with Angelique is up next.
we a bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment we share is finger licking good.
The time by KFC is
7:30.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Protect yourself from the bite of this mosquito.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Need to pass your CSET CAPE exams to get that dream job or to qualify for university? Then Distinction College is the school for you. We have locations in Kingston, Spanish Town, St. Elizabeth and Ocho Rios. Start day, evening and Saturday classes this coming term and sit CSET CAPE exams for January's resit or May, June. Maths, law, science, English. We have the lowest school fees. Register before the end of the month and win an entire term free. Call us at 354-8560.
It's sports time. Welcome. I'm Angelique Virtue. We begin with news on athletics. The women's sprint relay team of Shanoya Douglas, Alea Baker, Brianna Campbell and Alana Reed produced a season's best 43.39 seconds to claim the gold medal on Saturday at the World Under-20 Championships in Lima, Peru.
It was a good start for the US team. Blazing around, trying to make up the ground on the Jamaican team outside of them into the first changeover. Good changeover for the Jamaicans. A little bit sticky on the Americans. That enabled the Australians to get back into the competition on their inside. This changeover. Again, great changeover from the Jamaicans. A good changeover and better, I think, from the Americans. Swiss team are also right up in there. So the Jamaicans were ahead at this point yesterday, and the American runner's gone too soon. That puts the Australian team in the lead, but Alana Reid, a look across, puts it into full throttle charging for that line and brings home that gold medal for Jamaica. It is the Swiss team celebrating a bronze medal performance courtesy of the baton exchange on that final exchange.
In the men's section, the team of Jace Witter, Gary Card, Nyrone Wade, DeAndre Daly stopped the clock 39.18 to complete the double.
Baton changing crucial. France have gone out pretty well on the outside with Delomine. How's the baton changeovers? Everybody's away, but it wasn't too clever for Trinidad and Tobago. And once again, Korea are going well. And they gain on the changeovers. The incoming runner falls to the floor, but his job is done. Korea leading, France going well. Great Britain and Jamaica. And Gout has the baton, but it's a slow changeover on the inside. Great Britain and Northern Ireland being hunted down by Jamaica. In the closing stages, it's going to be... Oh! Who was it? Between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the momentum was with Jamaica. He thinks he's got it. And he's right. 39.18, 2 100s ahead of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, with Thailand and another national junior record in 39.39. Well, Gout never got a chance.
And still on athletics, Akira Nugent has been reacting to her performance on Friday on the Diamond League circuit. The 23-year-old Jamaican produced a lifetime best to win the women's sprint hurdles in Rome, bouncing back from her disappointment at the 2024 Olympic finals in Paris. The 12.24 seconds clocking was the fourth fastest ever in the event. It also shattered her own national record.